Hello everybody, Victor Freak here, and welcome back to another drawing tutorial. This episode, we are drawing Cubone, right there. And I'm going to be drawing Cubone with only a pencil, an outliner, and an eraser, but that's for rubbing out, so, I don't know. So we're not going to be using any colors this episode. And the reason for that is, well, Cubone is a miserable, a lonely Pokemon because its mother died and it wears the skull of its mother and uses one of its bones to fight off predators. Right? So it's a really lonely and miserable Pokemon. So I'm going to be using no colors at all to make it look sort of grim. Put a bit of attitude into it, you know? Because, I don't know, Cubone's a really cute Pokemon, and you just want to feel sorry for it just because of the Pokemon that it is. Anyway, so, we're not going to be using any color pencils or color markers this episode, just black, white, gray, those colors. Okay, and I'm not using the pencil that I normally use, which is this one. I'm not going to be using any kind of normal pencil because I figured out that using these kind of pencils, the ones where the lead, where it's kind of like a pen, except there's a long, thin piece of lead inside, instead of a wooden one, because, well, so you push the back and it comes out, and I think this is easier because I don't have to sharpen the pencil, and also it's really, you can draw really clean lines. So I'm going to be using one of these, but you can still use one of these kind of normal pencils. If you don't have one of these, that's perfectly fine, but I'm just going to use this pencil because it looks better when you draw with it. Okay? Cool. Okay, so, we're drawing Cubone. Let's get on to it. So, obviously, as always, start off with a pencil. And I'm just going to get a bit of lead out here. Okay, so Cubone is going to be standing roughly, well, yeah, in the middle. It's going to be in the middle of the page, obviously. And so the head is going to be the skull that it's wearing, so it's going to be pretty big. So let's just go roughly about half of the whole body of Cubone is the skull. The skull is literally half of the whole image. So let's just draw a line through the middle. Very lightly. Like that, that's good. And we're gonna draw the shape of the skull. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And now, let's also have the horns sort of around here. Actually, don't make the back of the skull go as high as I just made it. A little lower. And it goes down like this. Okay, that's good. Well, actually, it goes out a little more, like here. So we'll just do that. Okay, so there's the horns of the skull, which are around here. Yeah, somewhere around there. And then the other horns around here, behind. That's pretty good. And now I think we're good to move on to the body. So, Cubones are very chubby, I guess. They're short, they're chubby, or at least the body. They have short, stubby feet and short arms, short tail, and it's going to be holding a bone in its right arm. So we have the body. Just make a circle, just one big circle around here. Like so. And we're gonna have one arm around here. And the one leg here. have a leg here. Another arm here. And actually, I think I should probably make it a little shorter. The body, I mean. So, the leg here is good like that. The arm is like this. And the other foot is here. And the actual body is a little thinner. And the bone, we're just gonna have the bone here. It's gonna be, the tip of the bone will be touching the ground. So something like that. That's good enough. And the tail. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for now. So, gonna shorten this arm a little, I think. And gonna make this arm a little thinner. There we go. I'm gonna rub out some of these unnecessary lines. And that's pretty good. Okay, so next, let's work on the skull a little more. So let's just do the eye, the hole for the eye. Just around here. Okay, and we're also gonna have the hole where the nose of the whatever skull of the Pokemon it was. It's like here. I always thought it looks more of a skull of a Charizard than a Marowak. Cause I mean, yeah, I don't think the actual Marowak has horns, or it doesn't really have a shape of a head like this. I always thought it was more of a Charizard skull. Okay, and now we can do the shape of the skull a little better. Okay, so like so. And I'm gonna have some sort of tooth, or I don't know, I'm not really sure what this is, but something here. Okay, so that's good. That's all good for now. Okay, and now let's just do the body. So over here, we'll start off with the right arm where he or she holds the bone. Okay, so I think that's all good. So, let's see. Yeah, we're good to move on to the eyes, the real eyes, Cubone's eyes. So, right here inside the hole, gonna have the eyes. So that's really it with the eyes. I think I'm gonna make the skull a little thinner. Okay. Okay. So that's good now. And wow, that is really it already. We've already pretty much finished with the pencil. That was pretty fast, I think. Um, yeah, I think we're good to move on to the outliner, but we will come back to the pencil because we're not going to be coloring it in with color pencils, but with this pencil. So, yeah, so get your outliner, preferably the thin one, as always. But I guess it doesn't really matter if it's a thin or thick outliner, but it will be more useful if it was thinner. So anyway, we're gonna be outlining all of the lines, all except for the line here, which is where the little white spot on its stomach. So that's otherwise, yeah, outline every single line but that. So yeah. Okay, that seems all good. Yep, okay, so I think we are good to move on to rubbing out everything. Yep, that's really it. So rubbing out everything, and then we're going to be doing the coloring in. As in the coloring in, I mean the shading. So, yes. So, just rub pretty much everything out, and again, try to rub out the areas that you outlined first, because that part will be drier and the outliner won't smudge. because that is pretty much the worst thing that could happen, because you really can't rub out outliners unless it's some kind of special outliner, which I do not have. Okay, think we're all good with that. I don't think I can see any other lines that I haven't rubbed out, so think we're all good with that. And now, back to the pencil. So I'm just going to, let's first draw where all of the shaded areas are, just so we can see and know where we're going to be drawing darker than the other parts. Because by the looks of it, we're gonna be coloring in almost every single part except for the shaded area. I mean, except for the non-shaded area of the skull and the bone. So, or I don't know, we might be doing that a little, but I don't know, let's just see. So, actually, you know what, instead of just making the line, let's just do the let's just draw the shaded part now, just do it completely now. But first I'm just going to draw the shape of that little light part here. Okay, so areas on the bone that are going to be shaded, so there's here. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna do the outline of the shaded area first, and then I'm just gonna color those parts in all together after. And also this part is going to be shaded, but don't really need to show that. Okay, so I just finished the bone areas, and also the other parts that are going to be shaded, so that I haven't shown, is here inside of the bone, and also inside, actually. Here we go. So these parts are going to be shaded, this part isn't. And also the nails, the toes, I guess, and this nail, those are all shaded. And I'm just gonna point that out now, because now I'm gonna move on to the body and the eyes shading, or shaded areas. Okay, so that's all with the outlining of the shading, and I just drew a line here to show that the eye and the skin won't be the same color, obviously, but just to make sure I don't end up accidentally doing that, or anyone else. Anyway, so we're done with that. Now we can actually do the shading, the actual coloring in. So again, pencil, and I think we'll start off by doing the shading of filling in the shading of the skull and bone and the toes, because those, actually not the toes, they're not the same color, so just the bone and the skull. That's it, because they're the same color, the shaded areas, so we're just going to do that first. So you want to go not too hard, something like this is good. Okay, so that's all done with the skull. Now, let's move on to doing, let's just do the body first. Actually, no. Let's just fill in this hole here, because this hole is going to be completely black. So just try to color it in as dark as possible. Okay, that looks good. So now I'd say we're good to move on to the body now. So the body is, so I'm gonna start off with the, obviously the shaded bits of the body. Yeah, so let's just start off with the shaded bits of the body. So we're also gonna be doing this area. So this is gonna be slightly lighter than the shaded parts of the bone. So somewhat like this. Slightly, but not much. Barely different, just a little. So that's, yeah, somewhat. That seems pretty good. Okay, so yep, that's all done with the shaded body parts, or at least the dark brown area. And now let's just do the toes, sort of, and finger, the tip of the nose and the tip of the finger and toes. So that's gonna be pretty light, even though it's shaded. Okay, so now let's just do the eyes, just because there's not much left to do over here. So we'll just quickly do the eyes. So I mean the shaded part of the eyes. So that's really just really lightly here and here. Okay, so you know what, let's just do the eyes, the actual eye right now, just because we can. There's not much on here, so do this part pretty dark. And also the here, around here, do it somewhat light. Yep, that seems good. Very good. So now let's just do the shaded area of the round white spots here. So this part's gonna be still dark, but not as dark as here. So about this much. Okay, that's it. Now we can move on to the actual body. So we're not gonna be doing the white area first, just we're gonna do here, 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 and here. And that's it for now. So we'll just do that. So do that. I'd say pretty similar to this color, still considerably lighter than this color. Actually, you know what? We're gonna keep this part white, because this is pretty much almost completely white. So we're gonna do this part pretty lightly, maybe even a little lighter than this color. So yeah, something like that. This is good. Okay, that seems good. I think that we are done here. Cubone is complete. Where should I write the name? Where should I write Cubone? I'll write over here. Awesome. So, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe if you would like to keep up to date with my future content. And next week I should be back with you with another Pokemon Y2 Randomizer Nuzlocke playthrough, episode 3. That's right. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave in the comments down below what Pokemon you would like to see me draw next and how. So, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.